Welcome back, everyone, to the Catch a Glimpse podcast. This is episode 25, I believe, which is crazy, halfway to
Yo,
50. Well, we're going to have to bring
yo,
that up every time.
yeah,
It's like
25
what,
guys.
mark we get to
Yeah,
halfway to
we're all
50 right now.
25 years old now. We're all
No, it
25.
is. But if you have
It's
never
good
watched
to see you.
the Catch a Glimpse podcast, we pretty much just talk about anything kind of pop culture in the news, CDL, esports, sports themselves.
Yeah.
Anything that's interesting to us, whatever topics we think of or whatever we want to get off our minds. So, thank you guys so much for tuning in. You can go check out the prior podcast uploaded on YouTunes. That's crazy.
U-Tunes.
YouTube,
Yo,
iTunes, and Spotify. Dude, they gotta make that. Um,
U-Tunes. Yo, that's
iTunes
like
could just do video and call it YouTunes.
dude, they could, they're making bank
Wait,
yo, that's our
yo,
idea.
yeah, we
There's no way
copyrighted
you're
that. No
stealing it.
taking that. But make sure to go check out those prior episodes if you have missed out. These are uploaded Sunday, 7 a.m. on iTunes and Spotify, and 4:30 p.m. on YouTube with the visuals. So make sure you go peep those if you haven't seen them. But otherwise, I think we can just get right on into it. So
Hope everybody had a great Thanksgiving if you do
true.
celebrate Thanksgiving.
I'm sure we'll
I
talk a bit
know.
more about that as well.
Yeah, we could talk about literally favorite dishes that we've
Oh yeah.
had, any of the, the memories or like anything that happened during Thanksgiving. You guys can comment down below if you're watching on YouTube. If you had any
Mm.
weird experiences or your favorite dish for Thanksgiving. Personally, to maybe just jump this off, a good deviled egg. Yo,
Really?
a good deviled egg or some really good stuffing.
Mm.
Oh,
If
dude, I could devour stuffing.
the stuffing to me is hit or miss. Like if
Yeah.
it's not good, then it's trash. But when it's good, it's like, oh, that's
Do
the
you like
best part.
do you like sticky stuffing or runny stuffing?
Sticky.
Sticky. Yeah, I'm either or. It just if I don't care about the texture, it just needs to taste good. Like if it doesn't
Mm.
taste good, oh my god, get it out of my face. You're not a human being if you can't make stuffing.
Yeah. Oh,
But yeah,
I'm I gotta say it, and I'm sad we didn't
same thing.
have any this year.
Same
But
thing with deviled eggs. You got to make them right. Come on.
an underrated dish is the cranberry sauce.
I haven't had it. I don't
Dude,
like it. I don't, dude.
it's too good to me. Just cause, and okay, I would say this is why, and this is definitely an excuse.
Okay.
But deviled eggs, or not deviled eggs, now you got me thinking about that. Cranberry
Mm-hmm.
sauce, and when you just, you have the container or whatever, if you buy it, whatever in a can, you just plop it out on a dish, right? You just
Yep.
scoop out however much you want, and it's
That's
like
it.
it's the consistency of pretty much almost Jello,
Yeah.
and then all you do put whipped cream on top of it.
Literally.
That's good.
Okay. I want you to image cartoon dog food. Right.
Mm,
You open a can, and it's like, you
yeah.
know, that's what it reminds me of. And then if you just cut open somebody, it's that color. So it's like, dude, it probably tastes good.
Yeah, it
Cranberry,
just tastes like cranberries. So I mean, if you like
but
the
like,
taste of cranberries, then you're fine.
it just looks disgusting. I'd have to
Mm.
try it. You know. Hey, deviled eggs. If you make them the right way, you just okay. You can royally mess up deviled eggs.
Mm.
If you put too much mustard, it's gonna taste too much like mustard. If you put too much mayo or whatever mayonnaise, if you like mayonnaise, I don't know. Some people despise of it.
Mm-hmm.
But if you put too much in it, the consistency of the yolk mixed with the mustard and mayonnaise is going to be too runny and you can't eat it very well. We like to personally put cayenne pepper. Cayenne?
Mm. Yep.
Cayenne?
Yeah, that's right.
Paprika?
Cayenne pepper is
Paprika.
right.
I don't know. It's like
Paprika
some
is a
red
different
seasoning.
thing.
But we put that on top to add a little spice, and it's just the best. Oh,
So
here's controversial.
wait,
White meat or dark meat?
is that your favorite dish?
Oh yeah.
Okay. And what were you
You
saying?
like white meat or dark meat
I
on
don't
a turkey?
even
You don't know the difference?
is is it just
Don't
like
feel bad. 'Cause
how
I learned it last night.
is that just how well done it's cooked or what?
It's depending on what part of the bird you're cutting. So like I think dark meat is on the back of it, and the white meat is like on the wing. I'm not 100. I could be totally wrong, but do you
Mm,
know the difference between them two?
no.
So white meat is more dry, dark meat is more moist.
Well, but the meat that you get off of like, like the wings or whatever is
Dry.
I think yeah, but I think that's like way tastier. But I like
You like white meat.
yeah, but you would think but I don't whenever I eat wings or whatever, it doesn't taste dry. Granted, they're all
Well,
sauced
okay,
up, but
those are chicken.
yeah, but even on a turkey, you still go for those drums.
I mean, are you freaking cavemaning a
Yeah,
freaking drum? Is that what you're doing?
that's the best part.
No,
Yeah.
you don't have somebody cutting up like little pieces off of it and giving
No,
it to you.
we straight up cut those off.
Oh, you guys are
Yeah,
freaking
and then you
mammoths.
divide the rest of the actual turkey, but those themselves are your own pieces.
You guys are Neanderthals, man. It's like give now.
Yeah.
But hey, listen, the Packer game that we
Wait,
witnessed
hold
last
up.
week. Sorry,
I
I'm just
got
trying to. I'm very
well,
excited.
one more thing about the Thanksgiving.
Hmm.
So what's your favorite dessert of Thanksgiving?
Dessert. Are we talking about pie or any dessert?
Pie, whatever. Cranberry sauce would technically be a dessert.
I would say if apple pie and pumpkin pie was not in the picture, there is a chocolate pie that is at Walmart that you have to defrost and
Mm-hmm.
cook for a little bit, but it's a
Nah, fam, you just
chocolate
eat them
pie,
cold.
dude.
Eat them cold.
Listen, man. It's a chocolate pie. I think there's like different pieces of chocolate on top, and it's lined with whipped cream on the top.
Mm.
But it's like a cookie crumble almost. But if we're not talking about all different types of pie, if it's a crumble apple, then I'm like, you know. But if it's not a crumble apple, I'm going apple 100%. Um, but if it is crumble apple, pumpkin pie all the way. It all depends on what you got.
Okay, well, so two things. First, the thing about you defrosting your pies and then warming them up. Dude, you don't warm them up. You just eat them cold. That is the best way to eat a pie from
Oh,
like Walmart or something.
wait, you're telling me you get an apple pie from Walmart, you're not heating it up?
Don't don't get apple pies from Walmart.
Well,
You
What
get
what
key lime pies.
what,
Okay?
what is that? I'm not eating lime in my pie, dude.
Key lime pies, you take that home, you just defrost it in the fridge. Don't heat it up, just eat it. That's
Why?
that's so good.
The key
It's
lime
too
is
good.
meant to be eaten
No.
cold though.
Yeah, so you don't heat it up.
But apple and pumpkin need to be heated.
Dude, if you're okay, if you're buying apple and pumpkin pie, right? Like out of season or whatever, and you're heating those suckers up from Walmart, you're buying the wrong pies, man.
It's like, yo, you gotta heat up the pumpkin and apple pie. You can't eat it
Nah.
cold. It needs to be cooked. You're eating raw dough.
No, no, they're like pre-done pies.
You're one of those cookie dough eaters that are just like, yo, let me eat some of that. But there's raw egg in it. Give me the
Let me
cookie
get
dough.
some of that.
No,
um,
if they're pre-cooked, I mean, we're doing it all wrong and we're burning our pies every year. So
so then second thing,
yeah,
favorite dessert. Now, I love pumpkin pie. That's
okay.
easily my number one rated pie. But during Thanksgiving, my sister makes an apple pie, and it's like let me paint you the picture.
She
She
whips it up in the kitchen, is what I'm hearing.
yeah, she makes it, but she made a pumpkin and an apple pie.
Okay.
And so the apple pie, she's made these a couple of years now. She made too much of the actual, like apple filling.
Yeah.
So she had to go out and get
I
another
already know where this is going.
another
Oh, oh.
apple crust. No, I
Yeah.
didn't just eat it, but
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
she had to get another pie crust. So then she made
Okay.
2 apple pies.
Ooh.
And I kid you not, I ate an entire apple pie. So like
Yo,
that's
you
my
good?
number one during Thanksgiving is apple pies. And I
But it
don't
has to be her apple pie.
oh yeah, 1,000%.
Okay.
And I don't um like I like applesauce. Don't like
Mhm.
apple juice. Don't like apple cider. Pretty much all that is bad.
Yeah.
But applesauce and those apple pies are like the apple things that are like actually good. Apple candy sucks. But like those two apple foods, too good. So
You're all
apple
about apple
pie.
textures.
What?
You're all about apple textures, you know?
Yeah.
You don't like the liquid form, but you'll eat the half liquid, half solid
Mm-hmm.
applesauce. So
True.
yeah, you're all about the apple textures here.
But yeah, that apple pie that's easily favorite
Oh,
dessert.
I'll pass it over,
Yo,
man.
I have one piece downstairs.
Yeah. Yo, you bring me an piece of apple pie, I'll bring you some deviled eggs. That's all I'm saying.
Mmm.
You
Yeah.
don't like deviled eggs, do you?
Eh,
Ours
I
was a
prefer
little
more
bit
mustard.
mustardy this year.
Oh. Hey, hey,
Yo,
hey.
yo, you
Yo,
bring me an
pass them
piece of apple
over.
pie, I'm bringing you some deviled eggs. That's what's happening. You know. But anyways, the Packer game. If we're good to move on from
Yeah.
our feasting of Thanksgiving, was a tough game to watch.
Yeah.
Honestly, I think we said in a previous podcast that actually you said I'm not gonna put
No, I
any of this on my
I
head.
already think I know what you're gonna say. I think Frankie said.
No, you said it. You
Okay.
said
Well,
this. I'm not putting this on my head because this is all your words. You said that we have easy games if I'm looking at the roster.
yeah.
You said we were going to have a clean sweep and you jinxed it.
No, but okay. When you look at, so we went against the Cardinals,
Right,
and that should have been not as close as it was.
right.
And so then, yada yada, we end up at the Chiefs. That game should have been a win, but
Yeah.
Aaron Rodgers was gone. So every game after that, if then we're having our starting roster and we're having Aaron Rodgers, you would think, all right, well we beat the Cardinals who are 9-2 right now, I believe, and they're the best standings overall. If we
Right.
beat them, then combine the roster that's missing with Aaron Rodgers who is missing, everything should be piece of pie, except the only game that
He's
I
trying to
threw
bring it
out
back to
there.
Thanksgiving.
The I said that it should be a clean sweep. The only game that I'm iffy on was or is going to be the Chargers game. So, Vikings game should have been a dub. And
Yeah.
even after watching, still should have been a dub just because of refs. So,
Yeah.
we have
Honestly.
that loss. Chiefs game shouldn't have lost. And then we beat the Seahawks. And then we have Chargers. We might lose against Chargers. I still think we dub it.
We're playing the Rams.
That's what I meant. Sorry.
Yeah, that's fine. Same
Um,
color scheme.
yeah. So that game is still gonna be
We're playing at
close
Lambeau. This is
because
gonna be good.
so it's gonna be a really good game. But the Rams are a really good team, so I could actually
Yep.
see us getting very close on that game. But I still think we win it, and because I'm pretty sure, we're even supposed to have more people back next game we play.
Yeah.
So,
I'm looking at our
whatever
schedule here.
people I can't think of.
I'm looking at our schedule here. We're gonna be meeting the Vikings again at our second
Yeah.
to last
So
game.
then you look at every game after the Rams, and then you're literally facing like the
Bears,
Lions, the
the
Bears,
Ravens.
those should all
Browns.
be like the easiest wins of our life. And if we lose those, then we should not be like
We
we should
retire.
we should stop.
The Packers, this is their last year as a team. We're gonna
Cuz
now recruit the Green Bay Glimpse.
yeah,
So
exactly. Cuz you literally look at our first like 8 matches. That's pretty much our hardest stuff.
yeah,
Everything else from now compared to what we have faced, the teams that we have gone against, should be a piece of pie.
I.
So, yeah.
But in other sports news, after score predictions. Oh, I'm jumping ahead here. What do we
Um,
think? I was really close last time. I said I think I said 31-31 overtime.
yeah,
Did I
you
not?
were very close.
And I went 31-34. So I'm thinking for this week's game. Oh man. Do we think it's gonna be a high point game? Hmm.
I don't know.
I
Maybe
wanna say 17, sorry, to uh I wanna say 24. I think we win. I wanna say we win.
I'm going 27-21. We win.
Okay. And Frankie obviously wants us to dub it out. Um,
Okay,
I
but
don't
I
know.
gotta say,
Yeah.
um,
Yeah.
you
Watch what
you
you're saying.
you say that you obviously think Frankie wants to dub it out, but he like almost any week we go into that's like above par team, he's always like, I think we're gonna get stomped.
And
Like
we
I
win.
yeah, and it's just like, dude, we're facing like it's gonna be like a mumbo jumbo team like the Steelers, and he's like, dude, I think we could
I know
crush
that
this one.
Minecraft guy.
Yeah.
Mumbo Jumbo. Sorry.
So
Yeah.
if I think if Frankie was here right now, he'd be like, so I don't know.
I don't know. But back into any other sports talk, we have the Lakers. If
Yeah.
anybody has kept in track with the Lakers recently, I'll pass this one over to Keaton. He probably knows a lot more than I do about it.
So this was actually a pretty good conversation at Thanksgiving. We were just talking Bucks and NBA and stuff.
Why did he
And
do it?
yeah, so
You know?
what? So for people that either, well, you might know, but to give context, so for the Lakers, LeBron, he's back playing,
LeBron
and
James.
so yeah, um, so he has two like recent ish controversy type
Okay.
ordeals. So one of them is he smacked Isaiah Stewart.
I thought that was his elbow.
It it was an elbow nudge into, and there was a different lower cam angle that showed that was an elbow nudge into like a side of the hand smack on his face. So
Jeez.
it was 2 points of contact that hit Isaiah Stewart.
Maybe it was an accident.
And so the first angle of it does look like an accident because even as soon as it comes in contact, he's trying to get just better positioning. As soon as he gets in contact with the elbow, he's immediately like his face is like, "Oh, I'm sorry." Like I'm pretty sure he says something or like along those terms, like, "Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't mean
Yeah.
to," or "Sorry about that," something along that. But then the lower camera angle, it literally looks like he hits with the elbow, and then you see like ramp up force of then his
Uh-huh.
hand actually going faster and then hitting him.
Right,
So
right.
you can take it both ways. Me personally, I think it was 50-50. I don't
Yo,
think
LeBron.
he I don't think he like meant to necessarily
Yeah.
like straight up hit him, but I think he did like with the elbow, and I think the hand was maybe in an accident because
Right.
then maybe like he hit with the elbow, but then he tried to pull the hand away, but then it pulled into him. Because then like that's the hit. Because then he was Isaiah was bleeding like from his eye and stuff, so it looked like really bad. But at the same time, Isaiah Stewart isn't like the most clean player himself.
Right.
Um, with
LeBron James would never hurt a fly. So
yeah,
that's all I'm saying.
exactly. Um, but it was, I don't know if it was this season or whatever. I just saw this clip. I think it was this season, but it was Isaiah Stewart and Giannis, and I don't remember. I don't remember the clip like literally at all. I just know there was a bad altercation between the two of them. I think maybe Isaiah Stewart dunked or something and just kind of like tumbled over Giannis, something like that. So like, no matter what, Isaiah Stewart isn't like clean, and I don't think LeBron James that altercation was total accident. But then the stuff that
Right.
happened after that, um, so he's bleeding. The coaches are like making sure everyone's like calm, breaking it up. There's like that meme that's going around with Russell Westbrook. He has like both of his arms up, like fighting position, but it
Yeah.
looks like so Looney Tunes because like
Yeah.
his arms are long, and so it literally looks like his arms are like 2 feet away from him doing it, and it's hilarious to look at.
Oh
But
god.
the coaches try calming him down, and he literally bowls out of like
Like
his
he should be
coach's grasp like 3 separate times, charging at
gonna
the Lakers team.
draft this man for the NFL.
Yeah,
Like what is
honestly,
happening?
it was
He just broke
crazy.
like six people.
Like he literally stormed through so many guys, and then they finally like what they thought was coming in the last time. Like they thought like, okay, so now he's actually giving up, but he just got back to that corridor that goes around the stadium. That's for the
Yep.
locker rooms, and so then people were signaling like he's gonna run all the way around to the Lakers exit, and then run in from behind. So people are like getting ready for it and everything. So yeah, it was
Jeez.
pretty crazy.
You know that Giannis has his own shoe brand?
Mm, I did not know that. Like his own brand, or like a
I,
collab.
I think he's collabed with Nike.
Yeah, I remember that.
But some of these shoes are insane. That I'm seeing here. Um, I was at Kohl's recently, and I was looking at the shoes, and I wanted to get this shoe, and I was like, oh, it's actually made by or like collabed with Giannis. And I wish I could find a picture, but it is. Oh, I did find a picture. Um, the color scheme is very nice. It's a half clear, and then the swoop is half stitched, half like um like matte in a bunch of colors. It's very pastel looking. Um, if anybody wants to search it up at home, I would just go on Shoe Carnival and search what is it? Giannis Immortality basketball shoes. That's what the actual shoe is called.
I want to bring
Very good
this
looking
up
shoes.
too. Um,
Yeah.
the Bucks jerseys. I don't know if you've seen them.
Not recently.
They're like I think I don't remember what they label them as, but they're like the history jerseys or whatever. Like, it's supposed to like collab all of the past jerseys and like history of the city and stuff, and that's this season's jersey. And
Right.
so last year we had the cream jerseys, which probably like my favorite jerseys. I love the cream.
Yep.
Like those are just really cool looking. And this year's is
That's basically
it's
what the shoe is, honestly.
oh
I
yeah,
sent you a
that probably
link
looks
to
pretty
it.
good. I don't want to open it
It's,
up just in case it blocks our cam,
oh,
but
that's true.
I believe you. So this year is like the history ones, and so it has like all of them. Like the Bucks we had purple jerseys at one point. Of course, we have the green, we have the cream,
Yep.
and we have our Milwaukee blue, the Blue River. And so all of those right now are jerseys, and I think they look pretty sick.
Yeah.
I looked at like a tier list of just like all of everybody's like throwback jerseys or whatever, and there's some pretty good looking ones out there. So I definitely like what they're doing in
Oh,
terms
we
of
had. Oh yeah, I'm seeing
looks.
that cream. We got green. The cream does look really cool. Yeah, I think I like the cream out of all of them. What the hell?
Yeah,
Oh yeah, expensive jerseys though.
yeah.
Holy,
I was because it
I'm
was
seeing
Black.
$130.
Yeah, it was Black Friday on the NBA shop, so I'm like,
Hey,
ooh, I could probably
but
pick something up, but they were still super
on
expensive.
on Poshmark, this jersey used to be $300. It's now $59.
Last episode I talked at the end about Facebook Marketplace because
Yeah.
I was talking about light stands. And by the way, update for my photography stuff, I did make the stand and everything. So
Right.
if you're on YouTube, you can see this. This is my rig. There's a hot swap mount right there. But
Yo,
then
PVC.
also on Facebook, I saw this listing of vintage Packer jackets. And I'm like,
I did see that.
that looks pretty sick. Kind of want to pick one of
I
those up.
yo, I got an advertisement on TikTok actually, and it was a loot crate of old vintage sweatshirts.
Mm.
And it was like Bucks, Brewers, Packers,
Yeah, because
old vintage
if
stuff.
I could go on Facebook Marketplace, because I would love to get an old Packers jacket, but then I'd also love to get just any Bucks. Like, I would love an old hat because
Yeah. Oh, where'd he go? He left us.
I have the NBA championship one,
Yep.
and so if I could get an old like vintage Bucks hat or an old vintage Bucks jacket, that would be sick. So maybe, that's what I'll do for
I
some new
have an
apparel.
old vintage. What baseball team plays for New York?
Giants
Oh,
or
is it
the
baseball? Are they all called the Giants in
mm,
New York?
I want to say I could be so wrong, so I'm just gonna look it up.
NY baseball team. Yankees.
Okay, that's what I had in my head, but I'm like, cause I don't even know what like a Yankee
I
is.
ha-
So I
what
didn't
is
I
a
didn't want to
Yankee?
say it.
I have a old red baseball hat that has the Yankees on it, and I got it from my grandma. I don't know why she had it, but yeah, it's kind of just sitting there. I don't watch
Hmm.
baseball, but thanks, Grammy. um,
Um,
if we're good with the sports talk, I don't know if you have anything else, Brewers wise.
I
Maybe
mean,
some tennis, some badminton.
Brewers is just they're just doing like roster change ups. I don't know, some of it's
They're
iffy.
doing their thing.
But for the Bucks, I mean, we're on I think it's a 6 game win streak now.
Ooh,
I think
okay.
last night's was 6 game. And so we just went against the Nuggets, which Nuggets are a pretty good team right now. Beat
There's a
them.
team called the Nuggets.
Yeah.
Yo, yo,
Yo, we'll go eat our Thanksgiving dinner there.
yo. Yeah, actually, the next video that's gonna be coming out includes Nuggets, so
Ah.
you should
Yeah,
keep your
so
eye out for that this Wednesday.
make sure to stay, tuned for our Wednesday uploads, 4:30 on YouTube. This upcoming one, so if you watch this
Our
podcast, the
Thanksgiving
next
episode.
Wednesday is our
Ta-da.
Thanksgiving episode. So we'll be eating some food, doing some more talking, maybe about the seasons as well. So go
If you like
check that out.
podcast content, you'll definitely like the video.
True that. But yeah, otherwise
Yeah.
Bucks are doing pretty good. We're actually getting like our roster back because the first, handful of games was we were missing somebody.
Injury and COVID hits.
We still don't have Brooke Lopez, but I think he's rumored to
Who needs
come.
him?
Okay, dude, he's rumored to come back though. So yeah,
Just bring in Kobe Bryant and all the LeBron James and
yeah.
yeah, bring them all in. Not so much I don't know anybody on any basketball
Oh,
team, dude.
also speaking of
Kevin
LeBron
Booker.
James,
Sorry. Yeah.
I don't know if I said this. I don't even know really when this game ended up or what date it happened at this point. Just because I'm really that much out of it. But Bucks beat the Lakers, so there you go.
Better
Shows you,
team.
yeah, what's happening out here.
But other than sports talk, if we can transition over to an idea that I had. Actually, I'm just gonna. Okay, you know what? We haven't talked about this topic, but I'm gonna say it right now, and it's gonna be controversial, and you're gonna hate me for it. Boneless wings are better than
Oh.
bone-in wings. Period. Done.
No,
That's my opinion.
that's straight up
And
false.
yo, okay, listen, man. All right, here's my defense. Okay, I love me a good bone-in wing. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
bone-in wings are good and all, great. But when you have a boneless wing, right? And some people are like, "Oh, it's just a chicken nugget." No, there is a difference between a chicken nugget and a boneless wing. All right. Now, if you have your boneless wing, right, and you take your favorite sauce, whatever it be, blue cheese, ranch, whatever, mild, hot, you poke the boneless wing with a fork, right? You can just drench it, right? It's full 360 encased. And you just take a bite of that, dude.
Dude,
You
okay.
have a full saucy wing without needing to bite around a bone.
I I do full 360 on this topic. I
Okay.
The other day before work, I literally went out and I got beat ups because it was Tuesday, so it was
Gotta do
half
what you gotta
off
do.
traditional.
Yep.
And so I got my wings. So I bought 20. 10 of them were the Nashville, like their new Nashville sauce.
Yep.
So it's like
Yep.
Nashville barbecue. The other 10 were the honey barbecue. And so I ate the Nashville stuff first. And they're traditional wings, so they're bone in. And I
Right.
forgot to ask for all flats because I think that's also part of the story. Is if you eat clubs or flats, that I think weighs into it. Because
Yes.
if it's like ease of eating, 100% boneless is the easier one to eat,
That's what I'm
and it's
saying.
less messy. But
Yes.
if you want like, because let me tell you how like movie moment this was when I
No.
grabbed my first honey barbecue, and it was a
Okay.
flat, and I bit off of it. It was literally like I felt it like music playing, like slow mo. I was just like I ripped off one, chunk of it. I'm just like, "Oh my gosh, this is heavenly."
But
So
we gotta remember.
I would say you can never get that with boneless.
But we gotta remember who's talking here. He's talking about not cooking his pies and
Okay.
grabbing the freaking turkey leg with his meat hands. And then we're talking about, yo, let's get these wings and bite into a bone, man. Full on caveman Neanderthal.
Okay. So maybe there's not a one-to-one correlation on like our opinions, but that for me is the case.
No, I've never had a what's it called? A club and a
Flat?
yeah, I've never had a flat. So
What?
yeah,
How does that even make
I've
sense?
I've never had a flat before. I've only had the drums.
Okay, well, I'd say flats are easily better.
Is there like a
And
juice pocket?
no, ugh, no. I'd say that's a whole different argument, but the flats I rule over the drums because when you eat a drum, it's maybe a tad easier because you
Okay.
think, you just have the meat on the outside. The bottom is barely any meat, and then the top is that's the thing that gets me with about eating drumsticks is the top is like not just meat. It's
Like
not like you can
cartilage.
just yeah, it's not like you can just like in like cartoons where they just like bite at one end and like slide the bone out. And it's like, oh, it's clean. That stuff at the top is like some of that's just straight up. You're not supposed to eat that.
Oh, I
And if
eat
you
it anyway.
try, it's very hard to eat. So
It's like a tendon.
I'd rather just have flats where all you do is you take the one side that the bones aren't connected and you literally just rip it in half. So then you just have two bones like,
Right.
right next to each other and it's just like one line. So then you could actually do that cartoon thing if you wanted to, which you shouldn't, but where you bite at one end and then you take all the meat off. But that way, when you crack it open, then you can just bite off, both the bones.
Right.
And all that stuff you can eat for sure.
And
So I'm way more comfortable eating those than drums.
I'm sure there's different techniques on like how to actually eat flats. Because I've seen like somebody who, let's say my hand here, if you're watching on YouTube, is the table. You have your wing in your other hand, and you push it down on your plate or whatever, and you like push the meat down so that the top where like you're holding the bone is being shown, and they're both together. Like both bones are still intact.
Mm,
And then as soon as you have like that meat pushed down, you then like do the cartoon thing.
mm,
And it's like you bite because like it's already halfway down because you push the meat
yeah.
down. So I mean that's another way that I've seen people do it.
I don't know. I just like cracking it in half and you just eat it off like that.
And I'm gonna say this too. Ranch is better than blue cheese. Period.
I don't
Done.
like blue cheese. Yeah, I
Good,
agree.
good. All right, we're on the same page here.
Ranch on pizza.
Ranch on pizza.
Mm,
That's what I'm saying. Look,
there we go.
bro, like ranch on
Yeah,
pizza.
that's what I'm saying.
I had that from. I had some pizza this morning actually, so I had some ranch. And Tim the Tap Man. If I know you're watching this. You talked about liking boneless wings. I agree with you, and he said blue cheese is better than ranch, and I disagree. So
I want to
yeah,
say
broke it
this.
down there, Timmy. Yep.
I have a story,
Go ahead. Let me know. Tell me it.
and you talking about just like fast food ish stuff, kind remind me of it.
Yeah.
So I went into work
Oh God.
at like 8.
Oh,
This
too
was
early.
what day was this? Wednesday? Yeah, Wednesday.
A
So
hump
day
day.
before Thanksgiving. Went into work at 8. You know, I worked. I completely forgot that I needed to sign up for my classes. Like it opens at 8 and usually
Oh
those
no.
like fly, people add those to cart and buy them instantly. So I remembered at like 2 to do it, and I'm at work on my phone, no internet, data's
Yeah.
crap out there. So I'm like, oh my gosh, somebody's probably already gotten all my classes. Luckily, I got them all, so that's all fine.
All right, that's good.
So went to lunch, and so for lunch, it's 30 minutes paid, and then, whatever else is you gotta clock out, clock back in.
Right.
So we leave. It's me, my friend, who you know, Riley,
Yep. Yep.
and then his brother.
Okay.
So we're like, we got to go get lunch because we went like 6 hours into the shift. So it was like, it was a little
Way
bit
past
after.
lunchtime.
Yeah, exactly. And so we were literally starving. And so then while we were driving, then we were debating, like, okay, when we get back, do we just want to work 2 hours? Or then because we ate and we chilled for a little bit, do we want to work another 4 hours, make it a 10-hour shift? We were just kind of thinking that out.
Baiting.
But
Yeah.
we got to Taco Bell. It was the closest fast
Mm.
food place, and we're like, let's eat some tacos. We'll buy just like a party box, which is like 20 tacos or
12,
something.
12 tacos and yeah, I get you. All right.
Something like that. And so then we go through the drive through. As we're pulling up, well, no, we actually parked, got out,
Okay.
and then
Walk to the drive-through.
when we started walking to the entrance, this lady comes out who's a worker, and she's like,
Okay.
"Lobby's closed," and she was just like not having it.
Straight face, just
Yeah,
lobby's closed.
lobby's closed. So we're like, "Okay, thank you." Got back in the car, got in the drive-through, started going through the drive-through.
It's
It was
closed.
it was drive-through's closed, but it was slow,
Yeah.
and so it's like 20 minutes into our lunch break, and
Yeah.
we're sitting there, and it's like this is gonna
You're
take
not gonna make it.
forever. We're gonna have to clock out, clock back in, which we don't want to do, just so that way, we just work. So there's like 2 cars ahead of us. We finally get to order the tacos.
Yeah.
So I wanted the Dorito tacos, or like the Locos tacos, whatever they call them.
Yep.
And so Riley, because he's driving, he, just says the order. He says, "Hey, can we get a Doritos taco party pack? And by any chance, can you do half Locos and half normal?" The dude on the intercom responds. And we were joking the entire time because that lady left. It's probably just this dude working right now because she's on her
Yeah.
break.
And I was
So,
gonna say that the employees that work at Taco Bell right now, most of the time it's just one person,
hmm,
and that's why the lobby's closed. Is because there's so little workers that nobody can man the registers up front. So
well,
that's most likely the reason.
so yeah, so she was on break. We went through the line. Riley said the order, and he said, "Can we get those half and half?" And he responded with the most like, sure. Like he
Sure.
was not having it either. And so we were just joking about that as well. So then it's our lunch break is done.
Yeah.
And we're 2 cars away from the window to actually get our tacos and pay. And so I said to Riley, like, dang, I really wish we just went to Dairy Queen. And so, and he said, yeah, we'd probably be done by now. We probably would have ate our food and been back, before our break was ended.
Right.
And so then he said, well, give me odds for whipping out of the parking lot and going to Dairy Queen. And so he said out of 5. So he counted it down 3, 2, 1.
Yeah.
We both said 4. He drives out of the
Oh.
drive-thru and we go to Dairy Queen. And sure enough, it takes like 2 minutes in Dairy Queen's drive-thru and we get back to work.
Well,
So
I just the idea that you guys made this man
yeah,
who is already like depressed make you half and half party pack tacos, and then you odds to leave. So now he just has a party pack of tacos that nobody's gonna eat. Maybe he will on his break.
yeah,
But like,
trust me, all of that went through my head. But Riley's the one that, first of all, said out of 5. I just said a number. I said 4. I didn't think he was actually gonna whip out, but it was hilarious when it happened. But then we were thinking about that, like, yeah, this dude just probably made 24 tacos or whatever,
oh,
and we're not even there. But then we were also thinking, well, it doesn't hurt him, because he's an employee.
and he wasted his time.
But because it is just leftover food, he probably does get to eat it. So he got 24 tacos for free for himself.
No, he actually has to pay for it if he wants to eat it.
No, otherwise they would just throw it out.
Well, okay, yes, they will throw it out if nobody wants it in the store. So if he wants it, he has to pay for it.
No, that man's just eating those tacos. I know. But
I have this thing with go ahead, finish your thought, and then
um,
I'll.
also, just to like justify, not that that's the thing that you should do. Don't do that.
Right.
But at the same time, this is our lunch break. We have to get back to work, and so it was
Right.
taking eons. We easily would have been an hour just in that drive-through. So the thing is like I get like workers and stuff, and if you're like a waitress or waiter, or if you're like a food cook, whatever, you're working at McDonald's, maybe it's not like the most glamorous position, and
Right.
you know here in West Bend and in Wisconsin in general, we don't get paid minimum wage, so
True.
it's not like your day is insanely miserable. And so what I'm saying is, we talk to that lady and go through the drive-through, and we're like super nice because we understand that they're going through a long day, and
Just out of their mind upset.
yeah, and they're immediately upset, even though we, as the customer, hasn't done anything to them.
Right.
So I'm not saying it's justifiable that we left, but if you were to think, if it was a restaurant style, if we sat down, the waiter, just was whatever, and we're like, okay, we're just gonna leave, that's justifiable. And especially for
Yeah.
our time, we had to get out of there. So,
Right.
and also, you're just
Yeah.
making freaking tacos, my guy. Like, you're just
The mood's
manning a
already went
drive-through
through.
making tacos. Like,
Right.
me comparing my job to your job, I should be the one like snotty at that guy.
Right.
So,
And
hands
my
up. That's all I
thing,
gotta say.
my thing with fast food workers, if I have this thing that if you get on their bad side, they're gonna do something to your food,
That's what
man.
we thought. So we're like, this is probably sketch as is.
So like me going through the drive-through asking for my order is usually like a burger with only ketchup on it because I don't like the pickles and mustard and the onions, whatever. And I go through and it's not only ketchup. It's like, okay, I gotta go through again. I'm like,
Mm,
hey, you guys, like, I'm trying to be as nice as possible.
yeah.
You messed up my order. Is there a way that I can just get this remade? And then I go through. Now, my parents, right? They are very blunt and to the point. So when they go, hey, you messed up my order, like
Mm,
in the most
yeah.
angry voice possible, I'm like, oh my God, what? Don't say it like that. Because these guys could easily just go, okay, pull around. and then they pull around and they're remaking the burger. They could easily just, okay, meat, cheese, spit,
Yeah,
ketchup.
exactly.
Like you're not gonna tell. You're not gonna
Mm,
open up the burger, pick up the melted cheese, and hey, look, there's a glob of spit.
yeah.
Like it's just that's my thing with fast food. Try to be on their good side so that they don't do anything to your food.
Yeah, and
Um,
again, if you know me at all, then you know, like, especially with random people, I'm like as nice as I possibly can be. So us going through the drive-through and even just like talking to that lady outside, we want to make sure we're not like the traditional like rambunctious teens or like, college students or whatever. So we try and be like super nice. And
YouTube guys, I'm having camera issues, so podcast guys, don't worry. I'm
yeah.
YouTube guys, I'm gonna be staring at you for a little bit.
But we went through again through the drive-through as nice as completely possible, but we still felt like, yeah, like honestly, if we went through this just because we wanted to split a taco party pack in half, this dude's probably like gonna spit in all our tacos or something. So
Oh man, I'm blurry.
we only got like 4 minutes, so I mean,
Okay, so there's a story, and YouTube guys are gonna have to deal with this blurriness for a little bit here. But there's this fast food story that we all witnessed a couple of months ago, I'd say, maybe almost a year ago. We were getting food, and we decided to eat out. And Frankie and Keaton wanted Burger King, right? And we're going through the drive-through, and Keaton, you probably like, "What is this story?" Or you already know the story. I'm telling right now. But
at Burger King, I don't know. I know we went to McDonald's after.
yeah. So we went to
Mm.
Burger King, and Frankie's ordering his food, and he's like, "Yeah, I want this, this, and that." And then Keaton goes, "What do you want?" And then the guy on the intercom goes, "Nothing. Is that it?" I'm like, "Yo, man, we're not talking to you." And then he goes, "Excuse me?" And then the guy goes, "Is that it?" I'm like, "Oh no, I'm asking my friend if he wants anything else." And then he goes, "Oh, okay." Like the most dull ever. And then we pull up to the window and we get our food, and he just is not into it. Like this is like a guy that like the Taco Bell guy. And then on top of that, I don't really care for Burger King, so we went to McDonald's right next door, and we had this ongoing joke, asking for a dipped cone. And I
Mm.
don't know if that's on our TikTok. It might be
I think
if we
so.
ever even posted it. We went through the drive-through like one time, got my food, we ate outside, then we wanted ice cream, so we went back around and we asked for a dipped cone. They don't have any dipped cones anymore, chocolate
Yeah,
dipped
lame.
ice cream cones. So then we got our ice cream cones, ate it outside. We were like, let's go back around and ask for a dipped cone. So we go back around. No, we don't have it. They knew it was us again. So then they gave us ice cream cones for free.
And
I
they
think
were
that's what they were
huge.
huge. Literally, it's like cone and then ice cream, like stacked high, and it was just insane. I think we went around again and was like, "Hey, we're back. You have dipped cones yet?" Like,
Yeah. And
it was just so funny.
again, because people can take stuff so wrong. Um, there was nobody else like in the parking lot, nobody else in the drive-through. So it was us just going through, right? Like we weren't ruining anybody else's day. And it was like 9 at night. And when we
Yeah,
went through, they were all like high schoolers and stuff. They just found it
yeah. So
funny. So
they
like
had a
it
good
was
time.
all laughs. So but yeah,
And we can probably go on with like bad fast food stories, which is a really good topic that we should talk about at a different podcast point.
true.
But because I know Frankie's got a few, I remember some of the ones that Frankie's told me. I've got a few. If you guys want to hear that, let us know in the comments down below if you're watching on YouTube.
Hmm.
Or if you want to leave us a 5-star review. This is the end of our episode on
Ah,
Spotify and iTunes. Upload this podcast on Spotify at 7:30 in the morning and iTunes at 7:30 in the morning. Video portion is
Sundays.
on Sundays. Yeah, sorry. And then our video portion for the podcast is on YouTube at 7:30 at 4:30
4:30.
YouTube. Sorry, I'm not really good at this outro intro thing. That's why you barely see me do it. But when I am on a run or on a roll, I'm on a roll. But yeah, if you guys did enjoy listening and watching this podcast, please leave a 5-star review on iTunes and Spotify, and like and subscribe on YouTube. Post notifications to be notified whenever we do upload. And
True.
Ryan and Keaton, if we have nothing else to say, we're good to leave here with you guys.
I just like to say Linktree
Yes.
for any connections, Instagram, TikTok, quick and easy content. Also the announcements that we have going. Of course, the 4:30 Wednesday videos again, like we mentioned earlier in the podcast. And if you're still here listening at the end of the podcast, thank you so much. But also, Thanksgiving episode will be uploaded this upcoming Wednesday, so make sure to go check that out.
Yeah.
Otherwise, thank you guys so much for watching. Check out that Packer game, and I think that's about it.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.